What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, as well as a very vocal Luca. And we're returning for some more Offspring. I wanted to give Yvonne a shout out. She has shared a greatest hits compilation of the Offspring. So once I finished going through tracks on Ignition 92 and Smash, I believe 94, which are the only two Offspring albums I currently have. I did used to have their self-titled first album, but I no longer have that. But in any case, once we finish going through those two albums I still possess, we'll then move on to the greatest hits compilation. So I'm looking forward to that, and shout out to Yvonne in advance. But yeah, we're going to listen to We Are One, which is the second track on Ignition, and which I think you could probably take in some different ways lyrically. The way I've interpreted it as a critique of the human species overall and large groups or movements of humans on a slightly lower scale. And that is to say, I think there's a pretty clear critique or condemnation of groupthink, the way that dissenting opinions and inconvenient dissidents is often or are often pushed aside, prohibited, or at least discouraged. And in that regard, if there's no one ringing any alarm bells, if there's no one saying, hey, hold on a minute, let's think about what we're doing, then as the song says, eventually there's one big collective noose that's waiting for us all. And again, I think you can see this on a species level. Maybe folks have a different opinion on it, but I think it essentially makes the point that if we humans are always so keen for conformity and we don't allow for a pluralistic variety of opinions, even those that are critical or dissenting of the overall movement of, again, either the species as a whole or a large body of people, a society, a culture, a movement within a society, then there's no self-regulating mechanism. There's no warning signs that can come that we're heading in the wrong direction or that we're engaging in self-destructive behavior. So that's the way I take the song. Let me know if you have a different take. This is The Offspring from their album Ignition 1992, and it's called We Are One. bigger they come, the harder they fall. I reacted to a hardcore track, I believe, that plays off of that common phrase by the Control and Arjuna, I want to say. But yes, that's why I think it is talking about larger aggregates of humans and the bigger or the larger number of humans that are moving in a similar direction and thinking the same. The harder it becomes to get outside that or to resist that or to stop that inertia, and indeed if it's headed in a direction where we're going to end up being extinct, as the song makes reference to, or collectively hanging ourselves in a noose, then it is all the more imperative to have people saying, again, hang on a minute, wait, is this right what we're thinking and doing? So yeah, as I said, I think the lyrics are up for interpretation. I think, as with, let's say, a lot of Bad Religion tunes, there's some clear ideas, but also some lines that you can take in different directions. So let me know if you have an alternative view here. But yeah, I think it has that classic early Offspring sound. It's fast, it's driving, it's got a wicked character to it. I think Dexter's voice really lends itself to that wicked punk rock character, which is to say he's got a good shout voice. I've talked about this in previous Offspring reactions, and we definitely get that here. So yeah, again, I love this album even more, I think, than Smash. They're both fantastic, but if I had to pick a 1A versus a 1B, I think I'd make Ignition 1A and Smash 1B. But yes, ultimately, I think I've now reacted to almost every tune on here. I don't think I've reacted to Take It Like a Man, so maybe I'll do that one next. And as I said, I think there's a few more on Smash, but then we'll be on to the Greatest Hits compilation, which will probably feature a few tunes I know about. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've reacted to Come Out and Play on Smash, and I think that's a pretty big hit from them back then. May even have a video. In any case, once we start going through the compilation, there's surely going to be at least a few tunes from them that I'm not particularly familiar with, or maybe have never heard before, because after Smash, I only heard a couple tracks from Ixnay on the Ombre, and then like nothing after that, so we'll see when we get to that. Once again, shout out to Yvonne, as well as to all the folks who've been following the Offspring reactions thus far. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.